Not so much like Spiderman, but here's my imperfect brother. Fighting and pushing, our childhood memories of each other were never filled with anything other than chaos and disagreement. With a 3-year age gap, my brother and I never understood each other, nor did we ever try to. There were times when only one of us needed the phone charger, but neither of us were willing to give it up. I was a middle school kid clinging to my studies in hopes of attending a private school, while he was a plain high school student going through puberty. I never understood my brother's outbursts of frustration, and I hated him every time he messed up the peaceful balance of our home. I despised him for being the favourite child, or when he received biased treatment from our mother. We gave each other the silent treatment, barely speaking to each other unless we met at the dinner table. He played games while I shushed him at midnight for being way too loud. Simply put, I could not stand my brother. When he left for college, I was given access to use his room. At first, I was more than delighted, immediately decorating the empty room with posters and traces of myself. But as time passed, the silence caused by his absence became overwhelmingly loud. The house remained still and without sound at night. My sister stayed in her room all day while my mother went to bed early, exhausted. I began missing the small bickers we used to have. Whenever he came back home for break, there was an awkward gap between us, but we began holding more conversations with each other as our sister became the invisible mediator between us. We were still 3 years apart in age, but our minds spoke the same language now. We began to mend our relationship by making small talk over the news or even mini lessons about stocks. Now I was the plain high school student in so-called puberty, while he was the university student, reassuring me that I would get into a good college in 2 years' time. We no longer fought, unless it was about food, and I even shared my snacks with him from time to time. I began barging into his room and asking for help or complaining about little things, something that would never have happened a few years back. We even promised to wake up at 9 a.m. and go on morning runs with each other, even though it only went on for 3 days. It was fun while it lasted. Replacing the barrier that used to exist between us was a temporary peace treaty and a mutual understanding that we were both a pain in the butt towards each other in the past. My brother was never really a person that fit into the category of role model, but he was there for me in small ways. For a while I had forgotten about the times he had given me piggyback ride whenever I was tired, and how he always ate so much cereal that we grew tired of it. Small things that he did for me became much more apparent as I grew older. Who would have thought we would be so close now? Whenever our cousins talk about their daily fights, we forget that we had been just like them 3 years ago and laugh it off. The 10-year-old me would never have seen him as a hero like Spiderman, and neither would the 16-year-old me today. But he is a special person to me, and I hold as much respect for him as I would for a hero.
Please hang up and try again.